Hey, what up guys? Here is your workout for today, Monday, March 30th, Cookie Monster. So with that warm up, we've got 5 rounds today. We're gonna do 5 baby makers, 10 jumping jacks, and 15 scapular push-ups. Realistically, we're gonna mix that up a little bit. So kind of like that baby makers, we'll get to that in a second. First, we're gonna open up those hips before we get to that. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna go into Spider-Man lunges. So bringing that front leg forward, that back leg back, trying to really drive those hips forward, get that good hip stretch. We're gonna take that knee, elbow all the way down if we can. If not, take it as far as you can. Rotating up, working out, stretching out that thoracic spine. We're gonna alternate sides, so switching sides. We're gonna go 3 each side, so 6 total. Again, bringing that front leg forward, trying to keep that heel on the floor, taking that elbow down, rotating up, standing up, alternating sides. So we're gonna do 3 each side, 6 total. After that, we're gonna go 10 jumping jacks, something to get our heart rate up. Then we're gonna go into 15 scapular push-ups. So with those, just in that plank position, trying to retract those shoulder blades and then pushing those up. And so we're gonna do 15 of those. After that, so going into that next round, that second round, what I want you to do, we're gonna go into 5 air squats. Then from there, something else to get your heart rate up, so we're gonna go into high knees. So going into those 10 high knees, from there, we're gonna go into 15 regular push-ups. On that third round, we're actually gonna get into those baby makers. So with those baby makers, coming down, grabbing those ankles, then, so we're gonna feel that stretch in those hamstrings, grabbing those ankles, then we're gonna come down into that squat position, hanging out, coming back up, again, feeling that, standing up. We're doing 5 of those baby makers. After those baby makers, then we're gonna go 10 into those high knees, butt kickers. So loose ankles, kicking those buns, then going back into another 15 push-ups, this time going hand release. So those next, that 3, 4, and 5 round, going into those 5 baby makers that we just went over. That set of 10, doing something like jumping jacks, high knees, butt kickers, things like that to get that heart rate elevated, and then going back into whether it's those 15 scat pulls or push-ups, hand release push-ups, regular push-ups. We're gonna get 15 of those. All right, so your workout for today, Cookie Monster. This is for those of you without equipment at home. This is a 15-minute AMRAP, so as many rounds and reps as you can in those 15 minutes. Today, we are looking to try to get about 5 to 5+ rounds in this workout, starting with those 20 odd object ground to overhead. So taking something like a backpack full of books, pillowcase full of cans or something, a heavy object like that, a case of water, taking that, touching that to the floor, and then bringing it over, pressing it out overhead. So 20 of those, then going to those 20 lateral hops over the odd object. So again, just something jumping back and forth over 20 times before going to those 20 burpees, and then finishing again with those 20 lateral hop over that odd object. So trying to do as many rounds and reps as you can for that 15 minutes. For those 20 odd object ground to overhead, touching the floor, maintaining that tall chest, flat back, try not to blow up that lower back. Try to pick out a weight that you can do that for 20 reps unbroken throughout this workout. So let's say maybe even those later rounds like 3, 4, getting into that 5 where we need to break it once, maybe twice. But again, trying to pick a weight where we can keep this unbroken, at least when fresh. Then going to those 20 lateral hops, 20 just quick bounds over, trying to keep a nice quick pace on these, trying to keep these unbroken. If you need to, feel free to step over that odd object, or let's say that's a big object. If you need to, just take a step to the side, find maybe a seam or crack in the floor and just jump over that or step over that in case if that's too high or too wide for you to jump or step over. Then those burpees. This is definitely going to take up a big chunk of the time in each round. So make sure you pace these out, going nice and steady, not coming out too hot before going back to those lateral hop over on objects. So with this, all these movements are gonna get your heart rate pretty spiked, getting you breathing pretty hard. So don't come out too hot on that first round. Make sure we're looking at this as more of a 5K, nice, easy pace. Hey guys, we're gonna go over those movement progressions for the workout today. That first movement, those ground to overhead. So what that's gonna look like is taking that odd object like a backpack I have here, keeping those hips back, that weight on those heels, touching the floor, coming all the way up, taking that back and up overhead. So if you need to hold that in some other position, where it's like the side, again, coming down, back up, sinking those hips, tall chest, touching the floor, back up. So with that, we're gonna take that odd object, we're just gonna go into 10 stiff-legged deadlifts. So 10 of those, warming up those hamstrings, that lower back. After we get done with those 10, we're gonna take that, again, pushing those hips back, taking that bag right about the knees, just kind of popping those hips, popping their shoulders. We're gonna do that 5 times, and then from there, just going into a row. So bring those elbows nice and high. If you need to, feel free to use those hips to pop that up as well. Then finally going into, we're gonna take that up overhead and then just press that overhead 5 times. From there, going and practicing that movement again, trying to keep that weight on those heels, sinking those hips, touching the floor, popping those hips, taking that bag or odd object overhead. Once we get done with that, so we have lateral hops for the next movement. So we're just gonna go into 10 heel to toe raises. After those 10 heel to toe raises, hopping up on those calves. And then from there, we're just gonna step over. We're gonna do that 6 times, so 3 each side, and finally going into those hops. If we need to, just finding a crack or seam in the floor, stepping over there, over that crack or seam, hopping over that crack or seam. And then finally, with those burpees, so we're gonna go into 5 frog hops, so just taking it, coming down, that plank position, popping back up, doing 5 of those, and so finally going into that full burpee. Those are our movement progressions for today. Good luck with the workout. All right, so for that workout today, for those 15 minutes, I'm just gonna go over a quick demo of what 1 round is going to look like. I'm not gonna do all the reps, but just kind of go through the movements to show you what that's gonna look like. So again, starting with those 20 ground to overhead. So just taking that bag, grabbing that. I'm gonna take that overhead, getting my 20 reps in before going into those lateral hops. So just going sideways. Again, if we need to step over, so those lateral hops, then going into those burpees. So just coming down, doing my 20 burpees, and then finishing that round again with those lateral hops. So doing that for 15 minutes. Again, my heart rate, I'm short of breath just doing those couple reps. So good luck with the workout today. Phone.